Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about the silent treatment. The silent treatment, okay? Because I don't know anyone that hasn't experienced the silent treatment on some kind of level, okay? And there's definitely a range from, perhaps someone is just infuriated with you and they don't talk to you for an hour. They're trying to calm down and collect their words. And then, there's a whole nother end of the spectrum where someone has AWOL'd on you and shut down and blocked you out for weeks and months on end. Okay. So given as though we talk about narcissistic abuse on this channel, I don't know anyone who has had a relationship with a narcissist and hasn't experienced some form of silent treatment. So let's talk about the silent treatment, what it is, why it's happening, and what you can do to protect yourself if you find yourself in those shoes, okay? Because you can empower yourself in this situation, and it's all going to be a matter of your perceptions, okay? But we'll get to that. But let's go ahead first and just get into the definition of what a silent treatment is. A silent treatment is basically a withdrawal. It's a stubborn refusal to talk or basically verbally communicate with someone who desires the communication. Okay, that's key. Who desires the communication. And this happens especially after a recent argument or disagreement. Generally, it's a form of punishment and control designed to cause harm by making the receiver feel powerless, invisible, insignificant, and non-existent. It's emotionally withholding and refusing to listen, to acknowledge your feelings. It's literally inflicting pain without a visible bruise. It's passive aggressiveness, and it's definitely withholding love. Okay? Now, if we want to dive a little deeper into that, it activates the anterior cingulate cortex of the brain, and that part of the brain detects physical pain. And that's why the studies have shown that the silent treatment, initially anyway, it's triggers the same pain area as if you had gotten punched or hit, okay? And that's why, we need to shine some light on this topic, because ultimately silent treatment is a form of abuse. It is emotional and psychological abuse. All right. So let's talk about why. Why do people resort to the silent treatment? Well, I came up with a lot of reasons here, and I'm going to just go down my list. I'm sure it's not, there could be additional reasons, of course. But, from a toxic standpoint, this is why people resort to the silent treatment. To express their anger or disagreement for what's going on between you guys. Of course, to manipulate, okay? To gain or shift or maintain control in a relationship. To dodge accountability. Oh, you want to come talk about what's going on? Oh, silent treatment. Okay. To stop your discard. Oh, you're trying to break up with me? Oh, we're not going to finish this conversation. We're not going to resolve this. Silent treatment. To shift focus. That kind of goes along with dodging the accountability, dodging your discard. But yeah, to shift the focus. It could be anything. You want to address this? I don't. So silent treatment. To shift blame. Oftentimes, the receivers of the silent treatment, they start internalizing things. And then now, all of a sudden, it's gone from trying to address an issue with the abuser or an issue with the toxic communicator to, well, what did I do? And we get in our head. So now you're trying to break down a situation, and now you're magnifying anything you thought you did, which you may not have done anything. And you're beginning to minimize what they're doing because, you're so self-focused now. All right. Because when you're not communicating with them, a lot of people have a hard time maintaining that focus on them. They don't have any more information coming in. The situation has just been paused, basically. So now they're internalizing themselves because that's who they have access to. All right. The next thing I have on the why does the silent treatment happen? To punish, to hurt, to stress, to abuse. Okay. And the next thing on my list, what I just said, to stall, to pause, to buy time. Okay. Because, this isn't going the way that I want it to. Silent treatment. Maybe I give them some time to think about this. Maybe I will activate their fears of rejection. Maybe I'll buy some time and this will become about missing me, and they'll minimize or even forget about what the initial problem was, because now they're feeling this sense of loss and lack. And it's shifting, like I said, shifting the focus. All right. Another reason for the why, a refusal to change. Oh, you want me to change? You're really trying to push this on me? This is how a narcissist is going to feel. Oh, no. Silent treatment, redirection, pause, stop, halt, blocking. All right. Another reason for the silent treatment is a poor communicator. Someone who's emotionally immature. All right. And this is an inability to express themselves in a healthy manner. So this is the toxic way. So this is a red flag when you are newly meeting someone and you start voicing your opinions and you start saying how you feel about this or that, and you see them start shutting down all the time. And the silent treatments might start out small at first, and then they're growing over time. But, this was a buildup. All right. Another reason for the why of the silent treatment is to gaslight you. Oh, you said this happened? I'm not acknowledging that. Silent treatment. Okay. Another reason for the silent treatment is an attempt to feel powerful. An attempt to feel powerful, guys. Oh, yeah, this person is squirming. This person is missing me. Oh, they're taking it personal. They're taking it as a reflection of themselves. I'm watching them squirm. They're calling me. They're blowing my phone up. They're messaging me. They're do. It's an attempt to feel powerful. All right. So the next thing on here is to train your behaviors. That's another reason for the why of the silent treatment, to train your behaviors. Oh, you want to talk about this? I told you I didn't want to talk about you. I told you I'm not having anything to do with this. I'm not bothering. I'm not changing this aspect of myself. Silent treatment. And even if I didn't tell you, I'm telling you through the silent treatment, I'm not going to address this back with you. I'm going to act like I never heard this. I'm retraining your behaviors and your thoughts and your approach with me. Silent treatment. I don't deal with conflict. I'm not changing myself. Silent treatment. I'm trying to train your behaviors. Okay. All right. So those are the reasons that I come up with basically for why someone would resort to the silent treatment. All right. So what shouldn't you do? Okay. Because I have a do not list and I have a do list. So let's go ahead down the do not list. All right. Do not argue. Do not argue. Trust me. They want that emotional response from you. And that goes back to my list of why: to feel powerful, to get control. Oh yeah, this is supply. Remember, narcissists will take positive or negative, but even if they're not a narcissist per se, but yes, people do this. It's a tool of manipulation and a tool for them to feel powerful. So do not argue with them. If it's not a narcissist, you can go ahead and throw the bone out there initially. Hey, I see that you are not communicating with me. But, that doesn't work for me. We really need to address that. And then, give them what you think is a fair amount of time to respond to that. And if they don't, you can go ahead and deal with it yourself. Okay, well, I see you don't want to communicate. This doesn't work for me. I'm going to have to end this. You can take that control. All right. But I'm going to get onto that a little more in-depthly on the do list. All right. But the next thing that I have on here on the do not worry. Do not worry. Okay. Because, oh my gosh, this person isn't talking to me. That they're a jerk. They're emotionally immature. They're being ignorant. They're trying to hurt you. What do you need to be worrying about that for? You know what I'm saying? You've dodged a bullet. Stop taking that personally. It is a reflection. Their silent treatment is a reflection of them, not you. It's a reflection of them. Okay? And their controllingness, their ignorance, and like I said, their emotional immaturity. Do not beg. That is the next thing on my list. Do not beg. Look, you opened the door. We know they read that text message. We know they heard that voicemail, or whatever the olive branch that you've extended to them. Look, it's only one time you extend that is plenty. They're an adult. They're an adult and they've seen it. If it's worth it to them, if they're honoring it, if they care about it, if they're stepping outside their own ego, whatever the case may be, they will speak up. If they don't want to lose it, they will speak up. They will try to mend it. Okay? So stop begging if you have. Just let that go. Let that go. You've given them opportunities. That's enough. Do not blame yourself. Do not blame yourself. Okay? Like I said, their behaviors is theirs and not yours. All right? Do not try to force communication. Of course, that goes along with begging. Do not try to force it, though, as far as I'm going to swing by this person's job. I'm going to be crossing past, don't try to force. Don't try to force. Don't apologize. Don't apologize. A lot of times you're just a healthy person trying to bring up a conflict or something trying to speak up for what works or what's acceptable to you, what's a deal breaker or whatever for you. That is nothing to be apologizing for. But a lot of times we want to end the silent treatment. So we end up apologizing and they're like, yay, I don't have to address my mess. And now they're the ones that's sorry. Oh, now they have to make something up for me when they weren't even in the wrong to begin with. Do not apologize, generally speaking, or don't try to pull something out of thin air. Well, maybe was my tone of voice one octave too high? Did I sound a little too stern? Look, don't do that. Do not do that, guys. All right. The next thing on my do not is do not internalize. Of course, their behaviors are theirs. Survivors, a lot of times we're taking on other people's nonsense, BS, and mess. No, you're going to keep your stuff from now on, and I'll just be accountable for me and my actions. Let's be that way moving forward. Okay? On my do not list, do not show it's bothering you. Trust me, that narcissist wants you to start putting up Facebook posts looking all sad and bothered. Oh no, they are one person out of billions of people on this earth. You extended love to them. You had a pure heart to them. You gave them the best that you could, and they can't do nothing but give you a silent treatment because they want to be in a toxic relationship. Well, that's on them. It's their loss, survivors. It is purely their loss. Please, it should have been a privilege for them to have such a beautiful, wonderful person come into their life and they just pissed it away. That is their loss, okay? Stop internalizing other people's toxic behaviors. All right. The next thing that I have on my do not list is do not let it trigger rejection and abandonment issues. Some of you haven't completed your shadow work yet. And when people start giving you the silent treatment, you start feeling rejected. You're internalizing it. It's triggering back to these childhood wounds that may not be healed yet. Okay. So this is what we don't want it to do. We have to separate things, but when you haven't done that work fully, it becomes a little complicated and more challenging for you to do these things. Okay, this is why we have to work on ourselves and get healthy. All right, and do our shadow work so that people can't come and trigger us, because the trigger will be gone now. Okay. Do not let it build anxiety, and that kind of goes along with those triggers and feeling anxious, like, oh my gosh, is this person about to reject me and let me go? And no, they're rejecting a healthy relationship. They're rejecting conflict resolution. Okay? It's not about you, it's about them. Okay, they're rejecting love for their life. It's about them and not you. Don't let anxiety build up. You should be sleeping very well. If you treated that narcissist good and they're acting like that, they're the ones that probably aren't sleeping good and shouldn't be, But you, my dear, sleep very well. Sleep very well. The other thing on my do not list is do not let your ego run away with yourself, because everyone has an ego, even us survivors. And sometimes, like, how dare they treat me like this after I did X, Y, and Z for them and do. Look, honey, you can build a castle made out of gold. If a person doesn't really see your value, if a person doesn't really see your worth, if a person really doesn't appreciate it, and they're in a state, as narcissists are, of not being able to see things in a healthy manner anyway, so they're not even seeing the true weight and value that you're giving to them. And this is why they say don't cast your pearls before swine. If they're already in that place, they're not going to appreciate it. You could have given them a kidney. You know what I'm saying? So don't let your ego run away with it. That person is operating out of the level that they can. That's where their level of consciousness is. And that's why you guys are bumping head. And that's why it's resorted in this silent treatment. The universe is they're pulling away from you. Their energy is pulling away because it can't sit at the table. And I said this in another video. A toxic person can't be around a healthy person for too long, even if they're faking the funk as they do in the love bomb stage. They're hoping that you're wearing a mask too, or they'll be able to emotionally manipulate you. But yet again, if you're healthy, this isn't going to work. It's not going to work. So don't let your ego run away with you, because it's not about you. I keep telling you this. Their silent treatment is about them and their toxic behaviors and patterns and forms of basically a lack of communication. But silence is a form of communication. It's just a lack of verbal one. But, we're going to get into that on my do list. All right. So let's go on to the do's. All right. Because I just told you what not to do. This is what you do need to do, okay? Don't take it personal. We just talked about that on the do not list, because some of these things are going to be connected, okay? Don't take it personal. People have a big habit of taking things in their personal relationship, professional relationships, interactions with external people, places, and things. They're taking it personal. This person was mean to me. This person said that to me. This person looked at me this way. It's still not personal. It's their behaviors. It's their actions. You don't know what's behind it. People could be, I'm having money issues. I'm being mean to everybody today. That has nothing to do with you. That's their money issues. You know what I'm saying? So stop taking things personally. Oh, that person didn't hold the door for me. This person cut me off in traffic. You don't know what's going on in their life. But it has nothing to do with you. This is a stranger that doesn't even know you, and you're taking it personally and letting it ruin the rest of your day. We have to increase our emotional maturity, guys. Stop taking things personally. All right. And then we have logic versus emotional. Okay. That narcissist, that toxic person, they want an emotional reaction. They want to know that you're falling apart, that their behaviors are breaking you. If anything, when we're healthy minded, this behavior is going to validate, is going to cause the major shift that needs to come to know that you need to release this person back into the wild. They're not ready to have a healthy, loving relationship, and now they're no longer deserving of the love and all the things that you were offering to them. They don't deserve that. They're showing you. So get into your logic. Get into your logic and see the unhealthiness of it. Okay? And stop being emotional about that. All right. So the next thing on my do list is give yourself closure. Give yourself closure, because a lot of times when people are chasing this toxic person or narcissist during the silent treatment is because how can we just end like this? Or because sometimes that is an end. Some people, that's their discard. They think it's a silent treatment and it just may be a final discard. But we want, like, wait a minute, we're adults. We can figure this out. We can talk this over. We can have it. It don't have to end like this. But maybe that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Because some people you're not going to be able to talk to on a certain level anyway. They're showing you by doing the silent treatment, they're not mature enough to give you that closure and to have that adult conversation anyway. They're running from change. They're running from healthiness. They don't want that. So just let that go. And by letting that go, you're going to do the next thing on my list, which is letting go of control. You don't have to control the ending of things. Just accept that it is an ending. Or you don't have to control. Be happy that you're finding out now. Be happy that you're finding out now. So let go of control. Even if you're trying to make it better in your mind, you will be making it worse because this person is toxic and unhealthy. They can't receive this stuff. So you're wasting your time and it's going to frustrate you and take more energy from you that you can now put into other things. So let go of control. The next thing on my list is strip them of their power. Life goes on, honey. There are billions of people on this earth. And if we're healthy minded and we're walking in our strength, we have a full life. We have people that actually do care about us. We have plenty of things that we could be putting our energy into. We're walking in our purpose. Our life is fulfilled with our passions. We have our hobbies. We have ourselves to love and care for. So you have not taken from my love bank, because my love bank is filled with me. My love bank is filled with me. You want to give me the silent treatment? Well, I'm so happy regardless, because my happiness comes from me. What you're going through, I'm seeing that as something external from myself. I hope that you find your way. I hope that you can figure things out, but I'm not going to be here stressing myself and trying to figure out your stuff. I'm not you. You know what I'm saying? So take that power away. Get busy with yourself and separate. And life goes on. Like I said, keep living your life and give yourself that much more self-love and just throw yourself even more into your life purpose and just live life even harder, Fill those voids that you feel like, oh, I used to talk to this person. Hey, do something else. Okay, if you have a fulfilling life, you have other things that you can be doing and focusing on than trying to figure out somebody over there acting like a mute. Okay, look, ain't nobody got time for that. The next thing on my do list is know that you deserve better. Okay, a lot of times we're chasing this toxic person and they've shut down. They have some growing to do. They have some work that they need to be doing. And just know that you deserve better. I mean, in rare instances, if this person just needs to work on themselves and maybe down the line, you guys are able to come back together and they're healthy and they're apologizing. And, I would be with a wooden spoon, honestly. And really, they would have a lot of showing and proving to do. And sometimes, the timing is off. But you have to know you deserve better. So even if you do give them a second chance down the line, if you feel like, okay, I'm going to just see, I'll be very watchful and see over time if they have stopped this silent treatment stuff. Okay. But that's up for you to decide with your discernment and your logic. Okay. But ultimately know that you deserve better. Okay. And the next thing and the last thing that I have on my to-do list is you be silent. Okay, after you have made that healthy olive branch that you've let them clearly know, hey, let's go ahead and find a resolution. I need to resolve this with you. I don't want this to be lingering. I don't want to feel like I'm in some type of limbo, because you're not. Even if they are doing this, you're not. Okay, so you've extended it and they're still being silent and all this other stuff. Well, that's on them. Now you're going to get silenced, because I have other places that I want to put my energy, and this is not worthy of it anymore. I've given enough energy to it. There's nothing else for me to give to this situation. And even if you do, it's a waste of energy at that point. All right. And then let me say this too on the why list. I'm just going to jump back here on the why list. Sometimes narcissists, and this is a bonus, sometimes they give this silent treatment. And I said to stall, pause, or buy time. Yes, because they're with a new supply, or they're focusing on another supply at that time. Okay, so they're kind of putting you on a bookshelf at that point. All right, so that popped in my head at the end, and I wanted to make sure I squeezed that in this video. So guys, I really hope that this is helping somebody with the silent treatment in their life. If you know a toxic person, or a person who's needs to learn how to communicate better, or they're emotionally immature, you know, they're not doing the right thing by the relationship. I hope that this is giving you some understanding and some tips and tools on how you can perceive this and move forward with your life. Because that's the thing. Nobody is putting you in limbo. Nobody is putting you on pause. That is a power that you have to hand over to them. Honey, look, you ain't stopping nothing. Life goes on. I'm going to keep living my life. Life is too short for that game. Ain't nobody have time for that. All right, guys? So I want my survivors to be empowered, and do not take no silent treatment from nobody. Okay? Okay. All right, guys. So if this video resonates with you, go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bells, guys, so that you will know when I upload a video, and you'll know when I do my live chats. You know, live chats are great times to ask me questions, especially for those of you who are saving up to have coaching with me. I have books, guys, on Barnes & Nobles and Amazon.com to help you through your healing process. All right. The X Factor Volume 1, the X Factor Volume 2, The Beauty of the Eye. And for those of you who have experienced sexual abuse, I wrote Silent Tears. They're all available on ebook and hard copy, and I am working on getting these on Audible, guys. I'm going to be starting a Patreon. This is a monthly membership where you can have further access to me in ways that you won't have on other social medias, including YouTube. Exclusive content will be put up there. We're taking it to another level, baby. So if you like my YouTube channel, you're going to love Patreon. We're taking it up several notches on there. All right. And it's a great happy medium for those of you, again, saving up for coaching with me, and for those of you that want to double up. Okay. And then I have the support group on Facebook, Lakia Reflection and Progression Crawford. We have fun on that page. We laugh, we smile, we educate, you know, just go on over and take a look. Some of the posts are public and some of them are private. You also get notified on there when I upload videos. And, you know, we do have Facebook Messenger, and, you know, I do communicate that way with the survivors on the support group. All right. So with that being said, guys, take care of yourself. Stop taking these things personally. It's a reflection of them. And you always get to decide what you accept and you don't accept in your life, guys. All right. So until next time, please, please, please take care.